You are in first position, front of the pack, and we're in front of Ricciardo, Sainz, and Latifi. Currently, the fastest lap is a 1 minute 30.1. You're leading the pack, P1, and behind us are Bottas, Zhao, and Sainz. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1:30.8. Position rundown for you. The current top 5 are Leclerc, Latifi, Bottas, Gasly, and Norris. Currently, the fastest lap is a 1 minute 31.7. Fantastic. You've got pole.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top 3 today. The rookie, Leclerc, and Valtteri Bottas. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that.
It's always good to qualify at the front, isn't it?
Do you have any comments about this team? Appreciate your time.
Welcome along then to Socchi and the Russian Grand Prix, one of 8 cities in the world to play host to both the Olympics and a Formula One race. It's a Grand Prix that's proven difficult to crack for anyone beyond the first 2 rows of the grid in recent years, so let's see if that can change today. Built on the shores of the Black Sea, the Socchi Autodrome is a 3.6-mile tour around some of the venues built for the 2014 Winter Olympic Games. Close barriers may make overtakes more challenging, but with 56% of the lap taken absolutely flat out, we certainly won't be wanting for pure speed. A fitting arena then to do battle at the pinnacle of motorsport. Also here, of course, is Anthony Davidson. So let's have a chat about Nicholas Latifi. They need to win in order to stay in contention for the title. Anything outside of that, and their fate is no longer in their hands.
The key now will be to keep in the right mindset. We've seen time and again that things go wrong if you just try and do the minimum. Not necessarily because of the pressure, but because it's different to your usual approach. They'll need to avoid that and stay focused today.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. The rookie lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Latifi, Pierre Gasly, and Norris, Ricciardo, Vettel, Albon, and Lance Stroll, Joe, Sainz, Daniel Kvyat, and Ocon, Russell, De Vries, Kevin Magnussen, and Antonio Giovinazzi, Verstappen, and Nobuharu Matsushita. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish. Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap. We're learning the gears, so go through them all if you can. We're very low on fuel. Trying to shift up through the gears earlier, it may help save more fuel. From Nicholas is behind you. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are 1 lap old. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:37.9. You've got a lot of spare energy. Use your overtake button. If you think you can get past, make use of the overtake button and see what you can do. Okay, box, box, box. We're adjusting the strategy. Come in this lap. Go, go, go. You'll be racing on the exit. Exit, exit now. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track. Okay, we're low on fuel. Try shifting up the gears a little sooner. This should help us save some fuel. Nicholas is coming in for his stop. You're in P17. P17. Giovinazzi ahead. Our gap to the car in front is 23.9 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Sainz is behind you. Okay, the gap behind is 6.5 seconds. They're on fresh hards. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. 24 laps to go. Safety car. No overtaking. Reduce your pace. Keep your delta number positive as we form up. Go now. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap. Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake. Use overtake. Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Okay, the stewards have now enabled DRS. DRS is now online. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. We advise moving to mix 2, fuel to mix 2. Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. Gap to teammate behind is 12.0 seconds. This is your final lap of the race. Fantastic. You've won the Grand Prix.
Well, today we've witnessed some great battles here in Sochi, and they've taken a fantastic win. Ant, talk to me. What do you think it was that sealed the win for them?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team. Let's have a quick look at how the driver standings have changed. Not the result our points leader wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
Well, my driver of the day has to be Charles Leclerc. He was unstoppable out on the track today, weaving through the competition with ease.
Let's move on to the constructors. Red Bull pulled further ahead in the standings. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
So that was an exciting race from our perspective. Let's have yours. You took the top points today. Was it a comfortable win? What do you think made the difference between this weekend and last weekend? That was a close finish. How are things between the two of you? Do you have any comments about the collisions? Great. Well, that's everything.
Our new parts have been completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
You are in first position, front of the pack, and we're in front of Latifi, Ricciardo, and Leclerc. The fastest lap at this point in time is a 1 minute 26.6. Are you all right? Engine off, engine off.
bad luck today. That must be incredibly disappointing.
How do you feel these grid penalties are affecting the sport? You won't be starting at the front of the pack. Are you worried? I've heard rumours that you're interested in moving to this team. Is there any truth to that?
Great. Well, that's everything.
Welcome along then to the magnificent Suzuka International Circuit, a stone's throw away from Ise Bay in the beautiful Japanese countryside. What surprises lie in wait for us today in the Japanese Grand Prix? A lap of this historic racetrack covers 3.6 miles, and it's the only time during the season that we race on a figure-of-8 racetrack. The drivers can expect some intense G-forces through the 18 corners on offer here as they experience some of the highest average apex speeds on the Formula One calendar. And keep an eye out for overtakes going into the final chicane. Joining me for the Grand Prix once again is Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about the rookie. Looks like they've got a tough race in store today as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday and will start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Ricciardo, Carlos Sainz, and Gasly, Stroll, Verstappen, Albon, and Esteban Ocon. Latifi, they've taken a grid penalty. Vettel and Guan Yu Zhou. And Russell, Kvyat, De Vries, Antonio Giovinazzi, and Kevin Magnussen, Matsushita, and the rookie. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
This is our engine supplier's home Grand Prix. Let's give them a race worth watching. Okay, how was the pull away? You'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well. Fuel. Tried to shift up through the gears earlier. Are you okay? That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please.
That's a spectacular victory then, and with it, the championship is secure. It's been a magnificent season, and they thoroughly deserve the cheers of the crowd here today. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, when you overtake that many people, I'd certainly hope you'd win the race. Their car was really effective in the slipstream here today, and the team will be pleased that they didn't cook the engine, given how long they were spending in the hot air behind other cars. They had a lot of confidence to push their tyres hard as well, especially going into the corners, which allowed for some late braking and some exciting passes.
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. So, let's review the drivers' standings. This result narrows the gap between our championship leader and the rest of the standings. Now, let's discuss, Ants. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Nicholas Latifi gets my vote today.
Nothing can challenge the leaders of the Constructors' Championship at this point. And it's another title in the bag for Red Bull. After a long and hard-fought season, they built an astonishing car this year, and the glory they'll be taking back to Milton Keynes is fully deserved. Meanwhile, Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
What a great day out there today. Let's talk about what happened. How's your grid penalty going to affect your strategy going into the race? Will you be celebrating with your teammate tonight after their hard-earned victory? Why do you think you weren't as quick as your teammate today? Great. Well, that's everything.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through from the fabrication process. We'll have them with us for the next Grand Prix. Our new parts have been completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.